today we're going to be doing some meatloaf. This is a meatloaf that we probably have once, probably 2, 3 times a month, two at least, I know. And we kind of make ours real simple. I know some people put breadcrumbs and things like that in them. But as a sausage maker, I understand how meat works and how it breaks down. So if you mix the meat long enough, then it will actually come together, and you won't need that binder that some people use, like breadcrumbs or eggs. So we're gonna do it without that. Also, you're gonna do it with 3 different meats. Okay, we have a ground meat. We're gonna use that. Then we're gonna have Italian sausage. And then we're gonna have a hot and spicy. Now, for those people that don't like hot and spicy, well, you're never gonna taste the spices. It just all this together gives it a great blend. Also, we doing this like after work. Okay, so we don't have a whole long time to sit and cut up fresh onions and bell peppers. So you can actually buy this seasoning blend already in the package and already cut up. And actually, believe it or not, guys, this works a lot better and it's a lot quicker. So we're gonna use that, and we got our Worcestershire sauce to make a topping to go on it. We got some ketchup and a little bit of seasoning. So anyway, we're gonna get all this in a bowl and get it mixed up and get a loaf formed so we can get it in the oven. And by the way, let me preheat the oven right now. There we go. We're gonna cook it at 350 for about 50 minutes and it'll be done. After that 50 minutes, we'll take it out and then we'll add the topping to it, put it back in for another 10 minutes. Okay, let's get this going. Okay guys, we are back. We have our everything in here. The only thing I didn't do that I didn't say in the introduction was also added 2 tablespoons of minced garlic. 2 tablespoons to 3 pounds is a pretty good fit. Also, as you can see here, we used probably about 3/4 of a bag for that seasoning blend. So we're gonna start getting this smashed up and getting it all mixed together. And then we're gonna come back with, we're gonna form it into a loaf in our Pyrex dish right here. And so we will be back in just a little bit. I want to get this mixed up as much as I can, just so that I know we'll have a good mixture of it. Stuff's cold. And it, like I said too, the other thing is, you want to mix. You got 3 different meats. You got ground meat and you got sausage. So you want to mix that all up. You can tell the difference between the ground meat and the sausage because the sausage actually is a little bit darker because it's seasoned. And the ground meat is not, so it's a little bit of a pink blend. And once it gets mixed up though, you won't be able to tell. And like I said, I learned that in making sausages that when you mix meat up like this, it starts to kind of break down and stick together. And in sausages, we say you can make a patty and it sticks to your hand, then it's ready to go. So anyway, we will get right back once we get it ready to form a loaf. All right, we'll be right back. Okay guys, I'll do a little bit more of our cooking spray. I think I'm gonna get me one of those things I've been seeing on TikTok where you can actually put olive oil in a thing and it sprays. I think that's cheaper than keep buying that aerosol can. It does work though, we'll say that much. All right, we're gonna get this out of here. It is mixed like it should. We're gonna get it all out of here and get it in here. Okay, now as you can see, now we got like one big thing. What I like to do is I like to just kind of push it down and then push it in the middle to kind of help spread it throughout the whole pan. And it's just basically forming, almost like forming one big giant hamburger patty, but you're forming it to a loaf, which, you know, is going to be the meatloaf. Now I like to actually do it the length and the width of the pan because it's going to shrink. You know, everybody know how you put that hamburger in that skillet. There's one side, when it's done, it's another. So I like to spread it out as much as I can so that when it does shrink, it still looks like a loaf. All right. Hope y'all can see that. Having to work the camera kind of by myself. All right. You can probably see too where we have the vegetables, the red bell peppers, the onions. You can't see the garlic, but you can see all the other stuff. Get my hands rinsed off real quick. And this is actually ready to go in the oven, which is already on, and it is at temp. Okay guys, we are now going to get this into our oven. I actually bumped up the temperature for a little bit. Bumped it to 375. Just to help it cook a little bit better. You know, sometimes the ovens, sometimes they have different temperatures of what they say, so all depends on that seal on the door. Anyway, let's set the timer and we'll come back when it's done. All right. Okay, all right, so we'll jump back in and show you guys how we make the topping that goes on the meatloaf. Everybody knows, you know, put ketchup on it. Now, you can just put ketchup and it'll probably be just as good because ketchup already has stuff in it. But we do a little bit more. We don't just do ketchup. We do ketchup and with some other stuff in it. Not that complicated though. All we're gonna do is add a little bit of Worcestershire, or Shire, however you want to say it. I call it woo. So, and we also use sugar. Don't have to use that much. But once we get that in there, we just start mixing it up slowly till we get it mixed up. I think I might need to add a little bit more ketchup because that meatloaf is kind of big. That's 3 pounds of meat. So we want to make sure we have enough to go over the whole meatloaf. So yeah, we're going to add a little bit more. I mean, incidentally, this was a fresh bottle of ketchup. You know, here in Houston, we like to use local grocery store, which is H-E-B. H-E-B is Texas owned, Texas based. Since I got here in the early 80s, I've been shopping at H-E-B. I had a girlfriend when I first got here that was from Brenham, or her family was from Brenham. And at the time, H-E-Bs were only on the outskirts in the country towns and wasn't in the big cities. But I remember going to visit her family in Brenham, and that's where I saw my first H-E-B, and I just fell in love with it. And probably about 10 years later, if not a little bit, maybe 10 years later, I saw their sign said that H-E-B coming soon. Boy, I was so excited. And I tell you, I've been shopping at H-E-B since then. And I mean, sometimes they probably think I'm an employee. I'm in there so much. But that's just how much I love H-E-B. And not to mention its prices, you know, I mean, everything's high now, but you know, you go to some of these other grocery stores, you can't even afford to buy some of this stuff. So anyway, we have it mixed up. Now I think I'm done. So I am going to taste it, you know what? I'm not gonna taste it because I know it's done because I do this all the time. So I already know what it is. It's just basically sugar, Worcestershire sauce, and ketchup. And now once it cooks, now it has a different taste now, uncooked. But once we put it added to the top of that meatloaf and actually let it cook for about 10 minutes, it's gonna caramelize a little bit, and that sugar is gonna react, and it's gonna taste really sweet. So anyway, this is how you make the topping. So I would encourage anybody to give this a try. It will really make your meatloaf pop. So anyway, now we just gotta wait on the meatloaf to cook. So we got a few more minutes left on the meatloaf. So we're gonna sit back and wait for the timer to go off. All right, we'll be right back. Okay guys, we're back. Our meatloaf has cooked and our timer just went off. If you don't have one of these, it's really good to have, especially if you hadn't cooked much and you don't cook that often. You would really want to know when your food is at up to temp or at temperature, especially when it's cooking meat, things like that. Now, ground meat, basically at 155 is done. Okay, that's coming from the FDA. That means that it's safe to eat. However, sometimes some people want a little bit more done. But in this case, we just timed it and probed it actually, and probed in different places, and we were good to go. So it's 174, and that's 173. Take it up toward the middle, 168, 175, 151, 149. Okay, so just a little bit in here. We're still up to temp. See, even this one here, once we set it in there, it went to 149 and quickly went to 155, 154. So we're actually done. So now we can safely add our topping and then put it back into the oven for about 10 minutes and let that topping caramelize. So get a little bit of help here because I want to center this thing again because it kind of moved. We had to drain it. Of course, when you make meatloaf, you're gonna have the grease is gonna come out. That's just a given, okay? But you want to be able to take that. You want to be able to put that out because you don't want to eat that. That's just a renderance from the ground meat. So I like to do it kind of like this and just let it run. I guess I could get my well, I got the spatula so I can kind of make it go where I need it to go. See here, that's how I'm doing this. So I got just enough to cover this whole thing, and actually I didn't have to use the spatula. I actually didn't because I had enough, just enough. Guys, remember when I went back and said I don't think this is enough based on the amount of meat that I had. So here, we adding it here, dropping it. So it's gonna run itself. It's gonna run to the side. Once it runs to the side, it'll run off and it'll cover the meat itself. So that'll ensure the whole thing got covered. Just a little bit there. Actually, that ran too much. It ran all the way off. So anyway, once we stick it back in the oven though, it's actually going to start to caramelize, and it'll actually set and it won't run anymore. And you want to have this excess because you want to have it enough to be able to scoop a little bit out, kind of go on the top of your meat. So we are at 350 now, so we don't need to cook any higher than that. So we're at 350. We're gonna let it sit 10 minutes, and then we're gonna bring you guys back, and we're ready to eat. Okay, y'all, our meatloaf has cooked, and it is now done, and we are ready to eat. So I am going to, let's see, I'm gonna take just a bread knife and gonna kind of open this up a little bit and slice us off a couple of pieces. Definitely done. Now, and I will go as far to say, this is one of those dishes that when you cook it the first day, it's good, but once it cools and settles and you reheat it the next day, it's even better. So, and this would definitely be one of those dishes that, at least one of those meatloafs that you could actually make a what they call meatloaf sandwich with. It's got all the flavors and all you need is bread. So, oh wow, man, I wish y'all could smell this. This is, trust me, it is on point. So I'm gonna get this plated and we're gonna bring y'all back for a taste test, all right? Okay guys, we are finished with our meatloaf and we're gonna give it a trusted taste test. Now, I already know it's good because I make it all the time, but just for the sake of TV, we're gonna do a taste test. Now, what I also did, and I did it off camera, let me say it before I take a bite, but I actually always add in my sauce that I put on top of it, I always add a shot of bourbon because it just kind of makes the sugar blend pretty good. Anyway, so we're gonna call this our meatloaf with our bourbon ketchup blend. So guys, if you don't drink, don't try it. If you do, try it. Trust me, it's good, all right? Telling you, every time. That sausage, you don't even know that hot sausage was in there. But that seasoning blend, those bell peppers and onions that I put in there, trust me, it works. Whole lot less work. Same taste, same flavor. Look at that. I'm telling you, it's good. Guys, give this a try. Listen, we thank you for tuning in today for our video. We're gonna try to have this uploaded in the next day or two. Again, in closing, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe so you can see our other videos when we upload them. And really, subscribing really helps us, okay? So we can bring out more videos. Anyway, as closing, or in closing, I woke up today. That means it's a good day. And I live like this, guys. I don't know about y'all, but I live like this. Every day is a good day. It's all in how you live it. That being said, we out.